Someone's hot for teacher.
I don't want to talk about that.
You really need to relax.
It's the role, isn't it? It's all this pressure. I knew it'd be too much. I knew it.
Ow, what's she doing here?
He made me your alternate.
The only person standing in your way is you.
How do you know where I live?
I have my ways.
She's after me.
Nobody's after you.
Please believe me.
Sweet girl. Sweet girl. What happened to my sweet girl? She's gone!
Black Swan was one of the best films I've seen all year, and it's no wonder that Natalie Portman won an Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in this film, because when she finally overcomes her innocence and literally transforms into the Black Swan, her performance will give you goosebumps. Portman trained for over a year for her role as a ballerina in this film, and it certainly paid off. Darren Aronofsky was nominated for Best Director, and the film itself was nominated for Best Picture. So if that's not incentive enough to go out and see it, then I don't know what else to tell you. Before you watch this movie, though, I will warn you, you need to mentally prepare yourself. It is classified as a psychosexual thriller, so not only will you need to pay attention, especially towards the end of the film when you don't know what's real and what's part of the Black Swan's imagination, but also there are some scenes that get rather graphic, physically and sexually. In fact, you might want to have a happy cartoon movie ready to pop in afterwards, like, let's say, Despicable Me, to settle your senses. Overall, I give this movie a 9 out of 10, and if you didn't get a chance to catch it on the big screen, then I highly suggest running to your nearest Redbox and watching it tonight. Stay tuned to WMCM's Adam Smith will be right back. Chief Meteorologist Adam Smith will be right back with this weekend's weather.
Fact: University of Wisconsin-La Crosse is ranked the #2 college in the Midwest.
UW-La Crosse is ranked #34 for out-of-state students among public universities nationwide.
UW-La Crosse is ranked as one of the most military-friendly schools in the nation.
UW-La Crosse is number 24 among medium colleges and universities for Peace Corps volunteers.
All right, and now it's time for weather with me, Big Chief Meteorologist Adam Smith. And we're starting off today, if you're not by a window, it is possible showers, 53 for a high, 37 for a low. Moving on to tomorrow, showers, 50-degree high, 38 low. So if you have heard that cruddy Friday song, probably shouldn't play it because the weather won't be the greatest. And Saturday, ooh, getting crazy out here on Saturday, rain or snow, but high of 49 and a low of 36. So I'm leaning towards rain and moving me along here. Sunday, fun day, mostly cloudy, high of 53, low of 39. So enough with me, but we'll move it on to an interview with Carrie Vick.
Hi, thanks Adam. I am here with Taryn Johnson. She is an intern with Campus Crusade for Christ here on campus. Taryn, thanks for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
So I just want to start off by asking what Campus Crusade for Christ is.
Campus Crusade for Christ is a non-denominational Christian organization on campus, and it really just seeks to be a spiritual resource to students wherever they're at in their spiritual journey.
Great. And what is your position with Campus Crusade?
This is my second year as an intern with Crusade, which is the exact same as a full-time staff, same hours and responsibilities, but it's just a year-to-year commitment.
Okay, great. And trying to just get an understanding of a feel of when you got involved with Campus Crusade, why you're still involved with Campus Crusade?
Yeah, I came into UW-La Crosse as a freshman, and I was really looking for a place that I could get plugged in and grow in my understanding of God and really how He fit into my everyday life and what that looked like. And so as a freshman, right away I got involved with a Bible study and going to a weekly meeting, and even started being mentored by older students on campus. And since graduating, I decided that I wanted to play a key role in students' lives back on campus and wanted to be a spiritual resource for them.
Great, that's really neat. It's cool that you had a way to get involved as a freshman too. It's kind of a difficult transition to make out of high school sometimes. So what is the mission statement of Campus Crusade?
Yeah, Campus Crusade is really about turning lost students into Christ-centered laborers, and what that means is giving every student on campus an opportunity to learn about Jesus and His possible effect that He can have on their lives. I think in growing up in America, a lot of students can have an understanding of who God is and what religion is, but really Campus Crusade is seeking to give students a real-life example of what it looks like to have a personal relationship with God. So moving past religion, moving past rules and expectations, and really understanding what it means to have a personal relationship, and understanding that God has created us all to have a relationship with Him, and the only way that we could really do that is through Jesus Christ and is through accepting His payment for our sins in our lives. Because I think whether or not we all want to admit it, we realize that we aren't perfect people, and that, you know, imperfection and sin has consequence in life. And I think Crusade really wants to show that students have an opportunity to connect with a perfect God by a Savior who loves them and wants to pay for their sin.
Wow, that's really neat. That's cool. Thanks for helping me understand that a little bit more. And what do you think is one of the main misconceptions people may have about Campus Crusade?
Sure. Yeah, I think sometimes it's easy to think that they're a group of people that believe they have it all together, and that they just want to judge others and point fingers. And I really think it's a group that wants to welcome others in and explain where they have found meaning and purpose in life, and really just love people. I know we don't do it perfectly because it is a group of imperfect people, but the heart is really to explain about who Jesus is and to love people. And so I think it's easy from the outside to see imperfection and just kind of assume that people want to judge you based on that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kind of viewing people like, okay, you make the statement that you're going to be a Christ follower, so you think you're perfect, and maybe that can be a huge misconception. Yeah, I can see that. And what can a student do to get involved if they're interested in Campus Crusade?
Well, you can come to our weekly meetings Thursday nights at 9 p.m. in Graff Main Hall. We have a large group meeting which has a student band and a speaker, and just opportunities for people to kind of just hear more about the Bible. There's also Bible studies in each of the dorms and off campus as well.
Okay, cool. And what are some different activities beyond just weekly meetings and maybe Bible studies that they hold?
Well, there's a ton of opportunities to travel through Campus Crusade. I actually just got back from a trip to the Middle East, and we're able to be over there and just get to know college students there and hear their beliefs. And so there's tons of opportunities to go overseas or go around the country, especially in the summer or over breaks, and learn more about your relationship with God and growing and just your knowledge about it, and also just sharing it with other people.
So in the summer you can go overseas, and there's also experiences in the States as well?
Yeah, there's what we call summer projects. There are two different opportunities. A stateside summer project is typically about 10 weeks, and you can go anywhere. Last summer I went to North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Nice.
And you just get to spend time on the beach and meet people. The students who go get jobs, and so then they spend a lot of time working and having money to pay for school, and then also just learning how to talk to people about God and ask good questions and listen.
Okay.
So, and then international is pretty much the same thing, except you don't get a job and it's a short amount of time, but you still get to meet people and talk with them and share with them about your faith.
Okay. And you mentioned you'd been on some of these trips. So let's just, I guess, I'll just ask this question specifically for the trip to the Middle East.
Sure.
What was one of like the main things you learned and the most impacting experience you had while you were there?
Yeah, it was really incredible to be able to meet students who have grown up in a completely different atmosphere, and I got to learn a lot about Islam and compare that to Christianity, and just be able to talk to students about that, and that was really impactful to see the differences, and to just even be more cemented in what I believe as well.
That's really neat. And I know I've heard before that there are trips over spring break. Is that, I don't know much about that. Can you tell me a little bit about that real quickly?
Yeah, overseas, that's where we went to the Middle East, was over spring break, and then they also do trips down to Florida as well.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. We're just about out of time. So before we go and have a word from Allison about our sports, we're going to take a look at perfect pets that are up for adoption at the Cooley Region Humane Society, and they really need homes. So let's take a look at perfect pets.
Kino is a half beagle, half pit bull male of 11 years old. He is easygoing and a lovable man. He is eager to please and ready to hang out. This is Sprint. He's a wire-haired terrier male of 7 to 8 months. He's a love bug, affectionate, and may be a mama's boy. This is Tom. He is a domestic short-hair, brown tabby with white fur. He is 8 years old and is very sweet and affectionate. This is Belle. She is a domestic medium hair, and she is 1 year old. She is very gentle and loving and has a beautiful black coat that loves to be brushed.
To find out more about adoption for these pets or others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
Again, the phone number for the Cooley Region Humane Society is 781-4014. Starting things off on the baseball diamond, the UWL baseball team split a WEAC doubleheader with UW Superior Wednesday afternoon at North Campus Field. UWL won the noon game 6-5 before falling to the Yellow Jackets in the nightcap 10-6. In the opener, Superior took an early 1-0 lead in the top of the first on Mike LaBelle's RBI double to score Rhett Williamson. UWL was quick to respond in the bottom of the inning as Corey Geary scored on a Matt Trocchi single. The Yellow Jackets took a 2-1 lead in the top of the second before trailing for good. UWL tallied 2 runs in the top of the seventh, but it wasn't enough to claim the victory. In the nightcap, UWL took a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the second on Cole Cefalu's 2-out, 2-run single. UW Superior went on to score 5 runs in the fourth inning, with Redmond having a 2-run single. With an infield single from Fanta in the bottom of the fourth, the Eagles were able to cut the lead to 5-3. They went on to score twice in the fifth to tie the game and once in the sixth to take a 6-5 lead. However, Superior came back strong with 5 runs in the eighth on 2 hits. The Eagles had the bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth but failed to score, falling to 10-6. UWL is now 14-7 overall and 6-4 in the WEAC, while UW Superior is 5-14 overall and 1-5 in the conference. The Eagles see action again this Saturday, hosting UW Stevens Point at noon. Moving from the baseball diamond to the tennis courts, the UWL men's tennis team fell on Tuesday to St. Olaf in a 6-3 loss that snapped a 13-match winning streak for the Eagles. St. Olaf took 4 of the 6 singles matches Tuesday. John White won at number 2 singles over UWL's Nathan Fiquette, while Charlie Reinerston won at number 3 singles against Stephen Queering. John Foss earned the win over Peter Statham at number 4 singles, and Will Mitchell defeated Alex Kaker at number 6 singles. UWL took the number 1 and number 5 singles matches, with Nick Pietrowski defeating Newt Gunderson at number 1 and Vic Mirasola beating Andy Catania at number 5. St. Olaf won 2 of the 3 doubles matches, but the Eagles' Pietrowski and Statham defeated Gunderson and Mitchell at the number 1 doubles. UWL returns to action tomorrow at Eau Claire at 3 p.m. Moving right along from the courts to the track, the UWL men's track and field team had a lot to be proud of this past Saturday, as 6 athletes won titles from the UW-Platteville Invite, despite not recording any team scores. On the track, UWL's Brian Shonat won the 3,000-meter steeplechase with a time of 9:22.60, while Matt Gordy won the 100-meter dash with a time of 10:69. Tyler Hines ran away with the 1,500-meter, clocking in at 3:55.74, and Sean Royer took the 800-meter at 1:52.98. In the field events, Jeremiah Burish captured the pole vault at 15 feet 7 inches, and Isaac Vasquez claimed the long jump at 23 feet and 10 1/4 inches. There are a number of honorable mentions, including Scott Spexarth in the 110-meter hurdles, and Eric Hoshin in the 400-meter dash, Rob Rowe in the pole vault, and Andy Novak in the shot put. UWL hosts the Eston Challenge starting at 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And that's all for this week's sports.
Well, thanks, Allison.
You're welcome.
And thanks, everyone, for watching WMCM's Week in Review.